Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'm going to show you how you can make this cool looking bee hotel for your garden.
So here in the UK there are around 270 species of bee, 250 of which are solitary bees, so they're bees which don't live in hives, and unfortunately they're currently in decline. So a bee hotel is something in which solitary bees can benefit, offering them shelter and somewhere to raise their young. So for this project I'm going to use some scrap pallet wood, and I'm going to start off by making the roof, and the roof needs to have an overhang so that the little holes or tunnels in the body of the bee hotel don't get wet from the rain. So now I'm just using the miter saw to make a few cuts, and I use the first cut as a template for the second cut to add on the thickness so that it will look as if both pieces are the same length. So now when they go together you can see they appear to be the same length. So now for the main body I've got a skid from a pallet, and I'm going to cut that down to a rough size of around 35 centimeters in length. There's no strict rules for this. Just using a speed square to make the marks. So now that's done, it's time to assemble the roof. So I'm going to use some wood glue and then screw it together. I use a clamp just to squeeze it together and keep it still. And I drill some pilot holes. And then add the screws with the impact driver. So now before I go any further I wanted to use a router and just round over the edges. This isn't necessary, but I just wanted it to look a little bit neater. And I rounded over the edges of the roof as well. So now I'm making some markings so that I can line up where the roof is going to go, because I need to cut some angles out of the main section to accommodate the roof. So I'm going to use a pencil here to draw some lines, and these will be 45-degree angles. So now I'm going to do two miter cuts of 45 degrees. You could also make one of these with a pitched roof. It doesn't need to be an apex roof. So now that was done, it was time to add the holes. So I've done a bit of research and I've found that between sort of 5 to 10 millimeters are the holes that these bees like, depending on their size. So first I'm just drawing a line of about 1 centimetre with an engineering square around the edge, just so that I don't drill too close to the edge. And I'm setting up a couple of different bits in the drill press starting with 10 and working my way down to 5. I've used just a marker there on the bit, just so that I don't go too deep. And if you're new to the channel, thank you for watching the video. I make lots of woodworking and gardening related videos, so please consider subscribing for more content. So for the roof, I've used some grey decking stain, water based. And before I paint the main body, I'm going to give it a quick sanding over with some rough 80 grit sandpaper. And to cover it, I'm using a outside furniture stain. So again, water based. Water based is always better for animals. Again, not necessary, you don't need to paint it if you don't want to. I just think it looks a bit nicer and it might make it last a bit longer as well. So now it's time to assemble the roof onto the main body. So I just make a couple of marks on the roof so that I can drill some pilot holes for the screws to go. And I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. And then add one screw either side. And now I just need to add something to allow me to attach it to a fence or a wall. You could use a hook or a picture frame hanger, it doesn't really matter. So now it's just time to get it on the wall. But I decided to use the fence. So just make sure that you don't put yours in direct sunlight, and it should be fine. So thank you very much for watching. If you found this video useful, please give me a like and also comment, and also consider subscribing for more videos if you haven't already. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.